Destination Part 1 of the Las Vegas Mandalay Bay shooting. And by no means am I defending this man who shot or supposedly shot all these people, and I'm going to get more extensively into this a little bit, okay? This man, Stephen Paddock, I think he's 64 years old. The man had gambling problems, I believe, and he was actually suing one of the casinos. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I will get into his history. He had a defense in contracting background where he might have worked for Lockheed. I'm not really all in the details of it. But what I'm going to explain to you folks is how this all works a little bit. And when they were dispatched to this man's area, as you notice, they weren't shooting. The shots came from outside. No one tried to attack them from outside in. And helicopters were dispersed later on through it all. But let's get into why this man was set up, okay? And he's definitely a monarch, MK Ultra slave. And I really want to get into why I understand, and people should understand, that this is an abnormal thing to happen. Las Vegas is the capital of the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye, and you can see the symbology if you look at the Sphinx and all the statues in Vegas. It's nothing more than bringing back the Middle East. It's all ties into the Egyptian pharaohs. It's all part of the satanic code of Illuminati, and we all know Vegas. We'll have to go into the history of it. This man, apparently, they busted into his apartment, into his room on the, I believe, the 32nd floor. It's either 30 or 32nd, but anyway, they broke into the man's apartment. Before they broke into his apartment, there were a gunshot went off before they broke in, okay, before the officers went in. There was a breach, and before they broke into the man's apartment, a gunshot went off. It was not coming from the officers. He shot himself. Now, how do we know this man did not? How do we know what's going on? We don't know what's going on. We did not see this man do these crimes. How do you know? How many other people were in there? How do we know this is not a setup? Where's our evidence? There's none. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just explaining in this video. You need to have hardcore facts, and they're really good. I mean, the Las Vegas police can work paid off. Anything can happen in these criteria. You're looking at a man that possibly could have done these horrific crimes, killing, I think the total's up to 60. Very possible. 400 and something injured. But like I said again, this man basically had some issues in his life, I guess, like everybody does. But when you're an MK Ultra slave, he's a very, very easy candidate for this type of programming. And I know exactly a lot about how programming works. So this man, I have to say, we don't know who was in this. Could have been, he might not even been the shooter. We just don't know. There's somebody else that could have pulled the trigger in that room that was working. This guy's 64 years old, you know. He did a lot of damage. There were, how many rounds went off? I'm not going to get into all that, but I just do believe one thing. We're not seeing the whole picture, and I believe that this man, there was somebody else involved with this. Someone else was in the room with this man. They're not telling us. There was somebody else in there that had something to do with this horrific shooting. And like, by no means do I defend people that go out and mass take people out. But the brother also has a tie into what happened too. And I believe that there was a woman before this shooting happened. A woman came up and warned that there was going to be a horrific shooting here, and she was basically just told to leave. Security ushered her off. So somebody knew about this, and there's a link to this. I believe that the brother had something to do with this, knew about this. Somebody knew about this, of course, ahead of time. How do we know he's the shooter? He could just be framed. MK Ultra works in mysterious ways, how they program people. And if you look at his brother, he's a main candidate for program. Look how loose the man is. He's really easy, submissive. The man he's a very easy candidate for mind control and programming. I believe if he is not the shooter, he's possibly connected to it. The shooter, we think that is the shooter. Where's the proof? Did we see him hang out the window shooting? Do we have pictures of him shooting? How do we know he's the shooter? There was somebody else in the room, I believe. I don't believe, I know. And there's something we're not seeing. And this was a setup. It was a big payoff on this. There could have been more things more information. They let this happen, folks, just like 9/11. I have nothing more to say. The Illuminati works in mysterious ways. You're talking about this happening in the Illuminati capital. And I'm going to close this video out. I'm not going to get any more involved in it, but I'm just explaining to you, we don't know that he was the shooter. He was just in the room. He shot himself in the head before the police came and the SWAT team came, and I believe there's something else in there that they're not telling you about who was in that room. There was somebody else involved with this. This is a setup. This is nothing more than another MK Ultra program. Other people are involved in it. They let this happen. Mandalay Bay, someone got paid off for this. It's just part of the New World Order. It's just the satanic world we live in, that people have to use violence to kill, and they get satisfaction out. It's another blood sacrifice over all these people. And the country music industry has a lot to do with the Illuminati, folks. A lot. Just think of the people that love country music. The Illuminati is all country music. I will get into it a little bit more, how the linking and more on this coverage, but you don't know this man, Stephen, did the shooting. Where is your fucking proof, baby? There's no proof. I'm not defending anybody. The man was set up. There's something else they're not telling you. Something happened in that room, and we don't know. And look at the two windows that were shot off. They knocked off two of the windows on each side. If you look at the Mandalay Bay, how was somebody else was in that room. There's something else happening. They're not telling you. This is an MK Ultra, Illuminati, New World Order, orchestrated form of terrorism. And I believe, I don't believe it. I just know it. I have nothing more to say about it. I'm not disgusted by it. You know, I see this every day. So it doesn't surprise me. It's just another form of terrorism, how they bring in the New World Order, how people get satisfaction out of killing people. That's what Lucifer likes, I guess. You can look at it in that way. And the Middle East has something to do with it. We all know. I'm not going to get into the Middle East ties-ins on this. I don't think ISIS has anything to do with it, but they do in an indirectly way, which I will explain how it did. The Middle East does have something to do with this in an indirect way, but direct. And I'll get into that later. Peace out, folks. Another Illuminati MK Ultra program gone bad. You'll see more of these in the world today. This is just the beginning of it. What do you gain out of this? You gain fucking nothing. But there were people in that crowd supposedly that were supposedly on the agenda for being taken out, and I won't get into what the specifics of it, but they were on a list, and I won't get any more into it because I don't want to mess up anything with people investigating things. There was a list on there was a list. That's all I'm going to say. They blacklist you. Peace, love, and out. It's sad, but people are blacklisted. Just remember, country music industry, all Illuminati, baby. Peace, love, and happiness. The world is not what we think it is. Bill signing.